What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I gave this a couple days. I really did. Because I didn't want to come off as biased. And I wanted to give EA an opportunity to respond. But I think as a community, we have to understand where we are. Sports gaming is a genre, okay? And I think more and more, the sports gamer is looking for other ways to play sports games. Thus, I said when the 2K21 trailer came out, it's interesting to me at a time where NBA is not in season and the NFL is basically in its pinnacle, a majority of the hype in sports gaming rests with NBA 2K21. Now, the reason I say that is because I looked at what they came out with in their press release, and I thought to myself, would EA come out and say this? And I could say with supreme confidence that EA would in fact say these things. But would EA follow through on them? And as a creator for the last 10 years that's had a mixed relationship with EA, that's been to EA, that's had a great relationship with developers, that's been blocked by developers, I pretty much ran the gauntlet. And one of the things I can tell you is we have to look at the history of what's taken place, which is what makes this release from 2K all that more important. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to break down a couple of these things. One of the main things we wanted to do on our first entry to these new consoles was to not take anything away from our franchise players. I would offer that in Madden, they've taken the most away from the franchise player. They go on to say, all too often a new console generation means starting from scratch for franchise fans and having to start getting features back with each subsequent release of a game. When I talked earlier about sports genre gamers, I don't know how that line is not directly implemented to speak to the Madden gamer. I understand that to many people, they look at it as closed-minded as you're a football fan, you play Madden. You're an NBA fan, you play 2K. You're a fighting fan, you don't have Fight Night, you play UFC. But to sit there and have them straight out say, hey, we know a new generation of consoles means starting over, like we saw with Madden 06, we didn't want to release a game and have to put features back in. I mean, to be honest with you guys, whether you like it or not, the reality is, from a franchise gaming perspective, we're still waiting for features to come back that went through a console generation. Meaning Madden 05, no matter how much you think Madden is great, there's no two ways around it. It has franchise features and options that Madden 21 does not have. So they go on and say that they specifically don't want to take the approach, not with NBA, not with my NBA, and that they have given the players of the game everything they had on the last console generation, plus a whole lot more. That's a powerful line if you're a gamer. Like, as a sports gamer, that's essentially what I want to hear every single year, right? Console generation aside, our expectations go up with a console generation, okay? It's just nature of the beast. If I'm going to spend 5, 6, 7 hours on a console, I'm going to expect better performance, better gameplay, bells and whistles. However, as a Madden gamer, we have almost became predisposed to every single year, we're not going to have everything that we had. We may get more, but we're likely going to lose something in the process. And EA defines this in their own words. They come out and tell you that we've had to wait years to get stats correct in the game. So when I read a statement like this, to some gamers, it's just a paragraph. Right? But to a Madden fan, this is exactly what we've asked EA to do. This is accountability and going out and saying, here's a commitment to make the best game last year and this year. Because you deserve it. EA doesn't do that. Period. EA hasn't done that. It's a proven fact. Now, to move forward, they go on and they say the second main thing they wanted to do is lay the groundwork for the next 6+ years. Not a 3-year plan, not a 5-year plan. They want to lay the groundwork for 6 years. And that they feel by combining previous game modes into MyNBA, it'll make it easier for them to add new features down the road. I mean, as a Madden gamer, you have to look at this and literally scratch your head. Because we know this is the problem. The next line is everything wrong with EA and Madden. Rather than trying to split time with 3 different game modes that have varied requirements, everything we do will do the NBA brand justice. Are you serious with this? Did someone sit down at 2K and say, write a letter to the Madden gamer to convert them over to NBA 2K, to get them on board with the MyNBA platform we're building? Because for years, we have said to EA, we don't care about your different game modes, your Madden Ultimate Team, your Superstar KO, Long Shot. We care about the core experience. Find a way to make the core experience best. And then, if you want to evolve it out into other game modes later on, do that. What this is saying essentially is, we're going to satisfy the core gamer first. We're going to satisfy the person that loves the sport first. And then, once we have that person mainly satisfied, because there's always going to be somebody that wants more, but our focus point is going to be making sure the casual gamer comes second. We're going to make sure that the hardcore gamer is satisfied, then we're going to start to build in casual game modes. That's when it matters to us. Rather than having 3 different game modes, in EA's case, it's a lot more than 3. And trying to devote all the time out, which we know we can't do, we're instead going to recommit and make sure that this MyNBA mode is the groundwork for everything going forward. You know why that's a powerful statement? Because if you don't like it, this isn't the game for you. Period. If you don't like this game, then it has nothing to offer you. That's the other side of this, right? The other side of it is, we're going to put all our eggs in this basket, okay? And if you don't like it, we understand. Move on to another game. EA does that without actually doing it. EA didn't respond to this at all. This was a direct indictment by 2K to take Madden gamers away. And they didn't do anything. They closed this out even worse. They want to thank the community. The tremendous amount of support that it's allowed them to continue to use development resources and keep improving our franchise modes and create best-in-class experiences. You see what happens when you have goals? Do you understand when you sit down and say that we're going to make the best game? Not the best game we can make, but the best game, period. Do you see what happens? And it's not all bunnies and unicorns. They come out and say, listen, you've given us feedback, positive and critical. And we've tried to take all of it and make a better game. Not, we've banned you from our forums, we've blocked you on Twitter. We don't want to hear that you don't like it. Because you're supposed to appreciate our efforts, appreciate our hard work. There isn't anything here that says, we're 2K, appreciate us. It says, you're a customer, thank you. We appreciate you. We're working for you. We on the franchise team at 2K appreciate what you have done for us. And we really hope you enjoy my NBA. I mean, basically, because if not, we ain't got no game to sell you, right? This is night and day. This is absolute 100% contrast of what we see from EA. Not only from the people that interact with us, but from the game they provide, from the product they sell, to the actual measures they go to put things into their game. That's why when I talk about the yard, that's why when I talk about Superstar KO, that's when I talk about I hope they can get Gucci Mane in instead of DJ Khaled. I ask you guys, who asks for this? Who comes to EA and says, this is what I need in my football game? No one. No one does. Who asked for them to team with an insurance company to give you underrated players to have more ratings adjusted? No one. No one did. Because as the true Madden gamer knows, one overall number in a rating does nothing for a broken game. But that's what EA sits here and sells. That's what EA sits here and promotes. That's what EA sits here and markets. Meanwhile, you've got 2K putting this eulogy for Madden together, and EA can't respond. I don't even want EA to respond to this. I want them to respond to us as a community and simply give us a better game. Understand, you've short-sold us for a long time. You've taken advantage of our loyalty for the longest time. And we just got to the point where the overwhelming Madden gamer group is frustrated, is tired, is angry, is upset. But most importantly, looks at what other gaming companies do and feel completely left out. That we don't have a game we can be proud of. We don't have an experience we can enjoy. And that's what other games push to give their customers and their fan base. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking out. You know I will be back in the week with more comments.